Hi, welcome along to the second of our Cheltenham Ante-Post forums, looking ahead to day 2 of the festival. Nick Watts is at the Grand National Weights lunch today, so I'm joined in the studio by Ed Quigley and Graham Rodway. Welcome along, gents. Guys, sorry about the technical issues last week, a few problems, but if you could just recap your selections, starting with you, Ed, what did you go for?
Yeah, basically, I like Fox Rock in the 4-miler. I'm very keen on Our Connor, even back at each way at 6-1 in the Champion Hurdle. I don't see him at the 3. And I quite like the supposed Willie Mullins second string, Wicklow Brave. Didn't jump brilliantly last time out, but in spite of that, won with his head in his hands, and I think he'll go well in the spring.
Okay, and for you, Graham?
Yeah, I still like Mendip Express for the 4-miler, even though he got beaten at Newbury at the weekend. The ground was desperate, needs better ground. Yeah, earlier in the card, the Supreme, Joss's Heel was my main tip. I was a bit disappointed with the other one, Deep Trouble, at the weekend, so it doesn't look like that one will be running there. And I think the new one will win the Champion Chase, and I'm dead against Kvega. I just don't know what's going to beat her, but I think she's going to get beat.
Yeah, you certainly were keener on opposing horses last week. I don't know if it's going to be the same this week. We'll start off with the feature race, the Queen Mother Champion Chase. And we've had this from Cliff Henry on Facebook, which I think is going to be the view of a lot of people. He said, if Sprinter Sacra turns up, he'll destroy the Queen Mother field. I wouldn't go near Side de Grugy, as he clearly didn't like the hill, and connections have admitted that before. What do you reckon, Graham?
I think that that's talking complete nonsense about Side de Grugy. Yes, he has not got a great record at Cheltenham, and he was turned over by Kid Cassidy. However, you don't win the Victor Chandler Chase over a stiff track at Ascot as easily as he did if you're not going to get up the hill at Cheltenham. And I think the difference is, and you've seen it all season, is that Side de Grugy is just improving a bit out of all recognition. And I think that he's strengthened up an awful lot since that run when Kid Cassidy turned him up over at Cheltenham. I think
it's good enough to beat Sprinter Sacra on form, though.
He's good enough to beat Sprinter Sacra if Sprinter Sacra is not at his absolute best. If Sprinter Sacra is at his best, then there's very few 2-milers to have lived probably that could cope with Sprinter Sacra. I think there's been a lot of nonsense written about finding value against the front 2 in the market. I think that you look beyond them. Beneficent needs further, Captain Conan needs further, Hidden Cyclone isn't good enough, RV Legionnaire doesn't go left-handed, Kid Cassidy's not good enough, Alfroth needs further, Bailey Green needs further, Alderwood's not good enough. It's a 2-horse race. Forget the rest of the field. There's only 2 horses that can win this race. If Sprinter Sacra, if he turns up at his best, will win. If Sprinter Sacra doesn't turn up, Side de Grugy will win the race easily. And I don't think that there's anything to be lost by backing them both with the non-runner, no-bet concessions. That's the way I'm going to play it. I'm going to have 55 quid on Sprinter Sacra at 10 to 11 with power. And I have 50 quid on Side de Grugy at 11 to 4 with heels. And whatever way, I'm sure I'll be picking up.
2-horse race?
Side de Grugy would be 11 to 10 if Sprinter Sacra doesn't turn up.
Do you agree, 2-horse race?
Pretty much, yes. On as we stand on who we think will probably run, I do take Graham's point, and that Side de Grugy could be an improving horse, but I just cannot get out of my head the fact he's been beaten there every time he's run. So the way I look at it is Sprinter Sacra wins this by half the track, but he's got a dodgy heart. Side de Grugy's never won at Cheltenham, could be improving, we don't know. The price isn't really, I'm not really enthused by it. And then we've got Beneficent, who's going for the Ryanair, Captain Conan, who's going for the Ryanair, Hidden Cyclone, who's going for the Ryanair, Arvika Legionnaire, who ran shambolically at Cheltenham last year, needs to go right hand, needs heavy ground. Kid Cassidy isn't good enough. Bailey Green's going to Ryanair, so basically there's nothing running other than potentially Alpha Rov, who Paul Nicholls has put on record to say scrap Gold Cup plans. They're going for the Ryanair, but if the ground comes up soft, they will consider the Champion Chase. Now, I still think even then he's probably 3rd best behind the top 2, but purely he's 20 to 1 non-runner, no bet. If Alpha Rov lines up in a 9-runner Queen Mother Champion Chase, he's going to be about 4 to 1 shot, even with those other 2 in the field. If Sprinter doesn't make it, then you're looking at what, probably 9 to 4 second favourite against Side de Grugy. So he's the only one I could see who's, on ratings at least, got the class to be involved with those top 2. He may not run. Really, from a betting perspective, it's a shambolic one. I'm probably not going to get involved in at all because, look, Sprinter Sacra is the best horse. He's had physical problems. Side de Grugy's improving. yeah, it really just is not a race that makes great betting appeal. But Alfarov, as I say, it just purely on prices, 20-1. If you were to line up, he'd be around a 4-1 shot. But
I can't see the point in backing. I've just said it. I can't see the point in backing these horses at 20-1, even Alfarov and the rest, because they ain't good enough to win it. This is a 2-horse race.
But he's rated the same side of Grugy.
Yeah, but he's far too slow.
He won a Supreme Novice Hurdle. He's a course of distance Grade 1 winner. Course of distance Grade 1 winner.
Miles out.
What side of Grugy ever won at Cheltenham?
He's got absolutely no chance of laying up with side of Grugy and Sprinter Sacre.
On soft ground?
On soft ground, side of Grugy's good horse, and we'll thrash him.
Well, there you have it. Coming up in part 2, we'll be looking ahead to the RSA Chase and the rest of day 2 at Cheltenham.
William Hill, the home of betting.